those dance moves, though. So, we're going to be looking at another classical Fischer game, and this time Fischer is going to be, again, best by test. It's going to be facing the Pirc or Modern or, I don't know. That's one of those. Yeah, it's definitely a Pirc. So, take the center, and Fischer uses the most aggressive variation against the Pirc, the 4 pawns. And I don't know. To my students, I typically recommend, this type of structure: bishop e3, queen d2, castles, and then throw the pawns. So that's one idea for white. But if you hate facing the 4 pawns, there's been an interesting innovation that I've seen in the past year, where you play a6 here, and if f4, d5 is a very, very interesting continuation. Whereas if knight takes, you're just trading down and you're completely fine with black. And if instead of knight takes d5, we have e takes d5, you're just going to get your pawn back, knight f6. I mean, you can either go b5 or do the zigzag with your knight to get your pawn back and you're good to go. So, Benko played in this game just the simple d6, f4, and he goes straight back into the Pirc. And it's not the 4 pawns, it's the Austrian Attack. I mislabeled it. So now there are some lines you need to be aware of with white. If you put your bishop on a natural square, he has this continuation with knight takes e4 that can be a bit annoying. And we get things that look like that. But bishop d3 was played in the game. And this is my last deviation in the opening. I like knight a6 for black. I think it's one of the more modern moves, where after castles he plays c5 fighting for the center. If white elects to trade off his bishop for the knight on a6, then his attack is going to be, like really cut down, as that bishop is useful in trying to break down the black structure. So after d5, knight c7, black with the knight on c7 is playing for b5 or e6 and getting counterplay. And these are interesting positions. So coming back in the main game, bishop g4 was played. And from this point on, Fischer really runs a clinic with white on how to effectively and efficiently just break through on the king side. h3. So the d-pawn's being attacked. We defend. And already when I glanced at the engine evaluation, it was like -1.5. Or +1.5 rather. So Fischer's already up like a pawn and change in the position. Grab, f5, starting his attack. Whereas black, on the other hand, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But when he takes here, this is going to open up his king. And this is a classical example of when your king's open, you get wrecked. Knight d4, don't want to trade, put pressure on the knight. Castles. Now white is completely developed with an idea to attack the open king. Black's just kind of, he's there. He's present for the game. It's not going to turn out pretty. Knight d6. Now he's got a threat of bishop h6 where the bishop can't move. And I won't checkmate him. So king h8, getting rid of that threat. Queen g4. c6. Queen h5, getting ready to attack over here. Queen e8. And now black would love to be able to play f5 and trade queens, and he'd be completely okay. So Fischer clips here, and then he plays an absolutely beautiful move, rook f6. Because he stops f5, trading the queens. So good question is, well, what happens if he takes? After e5, there is no way to stop checkmate. All black can do is throw pieces in the way, but it all ends the same. Sturdy. So rook f6 is the star move of the game. King g8. e5, threatening the same idea anyway, and after h6, he's letting everything sit there, and this nice move, knight e2, ends the game. Because no matter what black does here, it ends in death. So very nice game by Fischer, dismantling the Pirc.